Today we're making this cinnamon mocha autumn cake. Starting with the first layer of cake, place some buttercream onto the cake and spread it around using your offset spatula. We do this to prevent the pastry cream from absorbing into the cake. Use your piping bag to pipe a ring of buttercream around the layer of cake. And I'm using the number 808 piping tip here. Fill the cake with the cinnamon mocha pastry cream and spread it around. Make sure that the pastry cream does not come up higher than the ring of buttercream. Then top with toasted hazelnuts and add the next layer of cake. You're going to repeat all the steps we just did until you get to the final cake layer that will make the top of the cake. A little tip I have for the buttercream and filling is to use a small offset spatula to swipe the buttercream down on the ring that you make around the cake. This kind of creates a barrier so that the filling doesn't ooze out underneath the buttercream. You'll see for this layer of cake, I add too much pastry cream and it comes up higher than the ring of buttercream. So I scoop some out and I add a small ring of buttercream on top just to make sure that the pastry cream doesn't ooze out. So now we're going to add the final layer of cake, whereas the bottom becomes the top of your whole cake. And it's really important here to make sure that the layer is put on evenly. You can see I struggled with it a bit, but I wanted to make sure it was really even because you will notice that if it is crooked. Use your offset spatula to smooth out any buttercream that's hanging out the sides, and you really want to focus on the bottom of the cake. That will make sure this cake stays securely in place, and the top of the cake. So add some more with your piping bag to the top and even to the sides if you need to. You want to make sure that it is evenly covered. Use your cake scraper to smooth out the buttercream. Try to use one fluid motion with your arm if you can, and then pull in the top rim of the cake using the offset spatula. Use a paring knife to scrape up any buttercream on the cake board, and then use a clean cloth that's slightly wet to really get that cake board nice and clean. Then place the cake in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Now, this has to be my favorite way to do a final coat on a cake. I find it just makes it so easy to get a really smooth layer of buttercream on the cake. So you're going to start with that number 808 piping tip again and just pipe buttercream around the cake all the way till you get to the top. It's important to have your buttercream mixing at a very, very low speed while the cake is in the fridge. That will get rid of any air bubbles that you have. So now you're going to use the offset spatula to pull the buttercream in an upwards motion. You want to get the buttercream taller than the cake, so that will make it easier to have a nice flat top at the end. And do this until you get all the way around. This is a technique I learned in a cake course I took from Sweet Lionheart in South Africa. I did it online, and I have really enjoyed using this technique. I like to smooth the buttercream on the top of the cake out right from the get-go I find it very helpful. So you're gonna watch me go around with my cake scraper to smooth everything out, and you'll notice that the cake is crooked at the start. So over time, I'm checking it and I'm making adjustments with the way I'm holding the scraper to make sure the cake is very straight up and down. And yeah, you can see me checking there. So use that fluid motion with one arm with your scraper. Next, take your offset and pull the top in, then do a quick smooth on the top. And you're gonna go again with your scraper around the whole cake. And this is when you really wanna focus on these final few spins. Make sure it's straight up and down. And I like to use my blowtorch for the final few turns. That helps to remove any air bubbles in the buttercream. I pull the top in one more time because I don't know, I wasn't happy with how it was looking, and I do another hot turn with the cake scraper, and I leave the edge kind of a little rough. I like that look for this cake. So I clean up the cake board and pop it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. I kept the decorating really simple on this cake. I'm just using the 1M piping tip, and in a circular motion I am creating a wreath around the top of the cake. Then I just take some fresh fruit. Right now stone fruits are in season. I cut them into wedges. I use some fresh plums and some fresh flowers that I got at the grocery store that I thought really suited this cake. And this is really the part where you get to have fun and just decorate it however you want. I really like the look of this wreath covered in fruit and flowers. I think it is super elegant. And you know that no cake of mine is complete without edible glitter. I'm using the Dazzle Dust from Generate Cakes. And here you go, you guys. This cake is super elegant, perfect for fall. I really love how it looks, and I hope you enjoy making it. Let me know how it goes for you, and remember to tag me in your social posts. I'll see you next time.